Hey everyone, it's Peppy Joe here, coming to you from Peppy's Online Culinary Kitchen. Today is Thanksgiving 2024. It is Thursday, and this is the Oupes MEGA1 pure sine wave battery powered power station that also works with solar panels. Now, there is 2 USB-C ports, 4 USB-A ports, 4 20 amp outlets, 120 outlets. There's a 12 volt uh, cigarette lighter type plug and 2 12 volt barrel adapters. This switch here turns on the USB part. This switch here turns on the outlets. This switch here turns on this section. Here's the main power button. And then this little button right here, it says IoT. This button here connects your phone to the app that controls this thing. I mean, you can physically control it by your hand as well, but there's an app that comes with it, and you can link up to the app, and it'll show you how much time you have left on your battery and how much power you're drawing out of your battery. Real simple to turn on. The power button here. Now on this side here in this panel door is a reset circuit breaker. This is your incoming power from the power grid or house power. And then this little Anderson plug here is for your optional or additional connection plugs. Now this one here has a cigar plug, and on the other end is the Anderson plug. When you plug this into here with the cigarette plug, you can charge this unit up using your vehicle battery. Okay? That's a nice thing about that. Then there's another plug that is the same end, but it has these ends on it, and these are for the additional solar panels. It has an input where you connect these to the solar panel, and then connect this Anderson plug into the port to charge this. You can charge with the solar panel as well as the input of the house power, so you can charge them both at the same time. It'll pull the voltage from the solar panel and the house power, which is really cool. This is a heavy duty plug that goes into here to to charge this pack. It takes about an hour and a half to fully charge it from like dead power. Okay, really quickly charged. Now on the other side of this is another door right here. And this door is for an optional power battery. You can connect up to two B2 batteries to this thing. And when this starts drawing down, it'll switch to the external batteries, and it'll keep going for you. And those are sold separately. And then we come back to the front, and we're going to power this on. Now, this is at 100% battery. Okay. Now, I don't have anything turned on here. So there's nothing showing of a draw on here. If I were to turn this AC on, it'll show up here and tell me how much time I have left on the battery. When I plug something in, this will show my current draw, my watts draw, and then this hour meter will fluctuate with the draw and wattage. Now, I have a pellet smoker that's made by Zgrill. It's one of their biggest ones they make. And you can't see it, but if I turn the camera, it is right there. That's one of them. And then over here is the other one. Now, those draw 250 watts initially. When the fire rod and the induction fan and the auger are both on at the same time, it draws 239, 240 watts. That shows up over here. Then when the fire rod kicks off and just the fan and the auger are moving, it drops down to about 50. And then when the auger kicks off and the blower fan is just running, this wattage shows up about 35. Now, I had this running yesterday because I was doing some smoked cream cheese and some of the pieces and parts of the turkey smoked so I could make my smoked stock. And I had this pack running for a little over 7.5 hours, running that smoker out there. And I only used 50% of the battery running that device. So we're going to get this hooked up to the smoker, and we're going to get our turkey on and start our cook with turkey. One thing I want to mention with this, which is really a great feature, is that this unit has what's called pass-through charging. And what that does is when you have the power connected to the house power, it will maintain this battery as it's working off of the outlets. And then it also has built in a uninterruptible power supply, which means that when you have devices hooked into the 120 outlets, if the power should go out, like you have you're running this device and there's a storm comes through and it's raining and all of a sudden, boom, you lose power. This unit automatically kicks over into the outlets less than 20 milliseconds, which is incredibly fast. And it will not let the device power off. Like you would have to go like turn it back on or something. So when this is plugged in and you lose power, it'll kick over automatically and maintain the power to your device. Now, I did this yesterday as a test, and I had it plugged into the side. I had the grill smoker plugged into the outlet, and while it was running, I disconnected the house power current, and it never faltered. It never even glitched. It just kept on running the smoker like it was plugged into regular power. So that's one thing I wanted to mention was a really, really cool feature. Okay, so now that the smoker is plugged in and turned on, you can see here that it's showing 3 hours, and then you can also see over here that the wattage meter is showing 223, 225. Now that wattage is also pulling the hot rod, the fan, induction fan, and the auger all at the same time. So that's why this is showing that much power draw. When the auger kicks off, see now it just came up to 243. That's because the fire rod kicked on. So at that 220, that was just the auger and the fan running, and the fire rod was ramping up. So now this is at 250. When that fire rod kicks off, and it's just the auger fan or auger motor and the induction fan, this will show 50 or around there. And then when the auger motor kicks off and it's just the fan blowing, it'll show like 30, 35. This hour meter will go up when it's not pulling as much power. So yesterday when I was doing this, like when it was just the fan running, this was showing like 15, 16 hours. When it was all running at the same time, the hour meter dropped down, which is what it's supposed to do. So right now we have the smoker powered up. Like I said, it's a Zgrill 11002B Wi-Fi model, which is the biggest one they make, and we are running it completely off of the battery pack. There's no house power connected whatsoever. It's completely off of the battery pack. Okay? So as you can see, the smoker is in its pre-warming up stages. That smoke you see coming out is the preheat stage, and it is completely running off of the battery pack. There's no house power connected to it whatsoever. It is completely running off of the battery pack. Like I said, I have two of these, and the other one is right here. It's the edge of it, but we're running this one today, and it's just finished its pre-warming. So we got to go out there and shut that lid so it finishes up. Okay, so here's the front panel on the smoker. And as you can see, it says Zgrills on it. Now, down here, these little red icons, if you look close, this one here is the blower fan. It always stays on. This one here is the fire rod. And then there's another little icon that comes on when the auger kicks in. That's over here. It looks like a little triangle. This particular model has a super smoke mode, which gives more smoke power to the grill itself. So this particular right now is starting to heat up to my set temp, and it's also Wi-Fi enabled, which is really nice. And there's more features that I can get into about that, but that's a different video. As I am also a Zgrill affiliate and ambassador. But see, here's the right here. It looks like a little circular motion with an H in it. That's the auger kicking on and off. Fan, hot rod, auger, and then temp. Now, this is what pulls the most power. This is just like a little desk fan. The fan is only 3 inches in there. It's a little motor. Now, as you can see, this is an operation, and it is just kicked off the auger motor, or the hot rod. And the only thing that's running right now is the induction fan. Okay? And as you can see, it's only pulling 34 watts. It is rated now for 16 hours, and the battery is still 95%. When the auger motor kicks on and feeds pellets into the smoker, this will come up to like 58, and then it'll kick back off again. If the fire rod happens to kick on, this will go up again to like 215, 220. And then when the fire rod kicks off, it'll drop back down to 34. Now, this is for my smoker. Your smoker's wattage may be different than mine. See, now it says 58. So this means that the auger is running and the blower fan is running. But it's still showing, a good bit of time on the longevity of this pack. Now, these results are for my smoker, which again is the 11002B from Zgrill. Your results for your smoker and your power needs on your smoker may be different. Some use a higher wattage fire rod. Some use a lower wattage fire rod. You have to look at your specifications on your smoker to see what the power consumption and the power rating is. Most of them, because most of them use the same auger fan motor and the same blower fan motor and the same hot rod, because a lot of those internal components are all plug and play. It's the same wattage being pulled. Okay, but what might be different is the power consumption on the control panel. It might pull a few amps or a few watts to power just the control panel. Mine doesn't do that. Mine doesn't have when you turn it on, it doesn't pull any wattage on the control panel. It only pulls wattage when the fan motor, the auger motor, and the fire rod are connected or hooked up or engaged. But you see now it says 34. That's just because the induction fan is just blowing, and this is showing 16 hours of time running. Now the fire rod engaged, the auger motor is engaged, and the blower fan is engaged. So that's why this came up to that temp. It works really, really well. I am thoroughly impressed with the way this device is running. Full sine wave on the bottom, 2,000 watts power, 1,024 watt hours is an amazing amount of power in this little box. Now this thing is only about 32 pounds, which is incredibly light. If you were ever in the military, carrying a rucksack on your back on a 25-mile march is actually lighter. So this device is really great for if you have a portable smoker like a Zgrill 200. This, if you're out camping or you're an RV person, this little pack will power that with no problem, and you'll be the talk of your campsite or your RV park when they start smelling the pulled pork or the brisket you pull out of your smoker just off of running this thing. There she is. Thanksgiving 2024 SPG seasoned turkey with a amazing tasting injectable liquid butter sauce that I made. I'll post the recipe if you want it. But I got one probe in the back end and one probe on the front end, opposite sides. Going to get it on the smoker at super smoke at 160. And then when probes hit 75, up the temp to 350 and let her go. Okay, there it is. Turkey Day 2024. Thanksgiving. It's about an 18-pound bird, and it is on the smoker, and both probes are in, reading exactly the same, and it's starting to ramp up the temp, and it is solely running off of the Oupes MEGA1 battery pack. And as you can see, like I was saying before, if you look here, the hot rod and the fan are the only thing on right now. And then when the auger kicks on, there will be another little icon here. Okay, so here we are out at the smoker, and it's been going for an hour and 45 minutes. I got kind of busy and I didn't get to it in time to to adjust the temp up to where I want it to be. So 75 is a good number. 70, 75 temps are good. There's only 3 degrees difference between the front section and the back section. And then once I get that, there's the app, and I'm going to raise the temp up on the app to 350. So we'll do this. When it's not being temperamental. All right. Okay. 350. 350. Now let's get a look at the bird. Oh yeah. She looking pretty. See, I have this on top of a 2.5 inch hotel pan, buffet pan, sitting on a cooling rack. So all my juices and stuff are collecting in that pan. It's still getting smoke because the smoke is coming up from underneath and going around in the holes here and stuff. So it's not blocking smoke, but it's looking good. Let's get it closed back up and let her keep on going. So the smoker's been running for an hour and 45 minutes. And in that time, it has only used 22% of the battery. But you have to take into consideration that it is fluctuating in time because of the fluctuation in the power draw between the fans and the auger and the hot rod. So as you've seen, it went from 9 hours to 13 hours. We're still cruising right along. All right, so we've been on 350 now for an hour and 20 minutes, 21 minutes, and it's still running off of the power pack. But now we're going to get a look at what the actual turkey looks like. So here we go. Oh yeah. Look at that. The color on that skin is awesome. Now, the first probe in the number 1 spot is in the back. So that's why there's a little bit of a heat difference between this one's the back, this one's in the front here. There's more heat in the front than there is in the back. So that explains that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to rotate this around and get this some more evenly cooking. Okay, so now we've got it rotated, and my wife's fancy purple heat gloves there. But now we got it rotated, and it'll start to even out in temp now. Okay, so a real quick shot of the power station box, and right now it's reading the 57. That's because the auger fan is on and the induction fan is on. But it's showing 68% at 8 hours time on the battery. Now once that auger kicks off and it's just the induction fan, the time will come back up. See, there it goes. Okay. It's showing 33 and 11. 68% on the battery. So 32% I've used in 3 hours and 7 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to, since we've got other stuff that we need to cook, I'm going to, you can see out there, you can see my wife's feet, but she's standing in front of the other smoker out there, and we're gonna plug that one in as well and get that one going. And here we go. All right. Now, as you can see, it's just starting up, just like the last one. And it's now pulling 280 watts. Still has 65% on the battery. Now, this is running 2 smokers, people. 2 11002B smokers. One is in the startup phase, just like the other one was. And the other one is still cooking the turkey. But as you can see, with it engaged with the auger, the fan motor, and the hot rod, it's pulling 274. And it's not even struggling. So this is gonna go up and down. This is gonna go up and down on the wattage pull and the hour meter, because it's pulling power for 2 smokers. Now, keep in mind, this cord is going outside to a Y extension cord. It's split. So both smokers are connected to this outlet. Just one outlet. Okay? It's not pulling from the other outlet. It's only pulling from the one outlet. Now, I just put my hand on the top of this, and it's not even, it's like skin temp warm. It's not hot at all. Okay? It's just warm. That's impressive. So it's gonna pull wattage from the wattage gauge, because both are, like I said, both are hooked up, and we're gonna keep an eye on it as it's progressing. But that, folks, is impressive. 3 almost 500 watts when they both kick on, and right now the other one is just warming up, and it's still only at 64%. That's pretty cool. Okay, so two smokers, two 11002B Zgrill smokers running off of that power pack. Now, one has the turkey in it, and it's been running for probably 4.5 hours now. And that just kicked down to 84. So that means that the other smoker, the second smoker, is only running the induction fan. And the first smoker that has the turkey in it is also only running the induction fan. And there's still 5 hours of time left on the battery. So I'm running two heavy duty smokers at the same time off of one cord, off of one outlet, and this isn't even breaking a sweat, so to speak. So yeah, two smokers off of this MEGA1 Oupes pack. That's impressive. Very impressive. And the good thing about it is I'm not using house power. So my electric bill isn't going to go up, which is nice. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. And just as you can see, so you don't think I'm being fictitious or fraudulent, you can see the smoke coming out the side there. And if you look close, you can see the control panel with the red LED ring on there. So it is running, and there's the single cord. And there's the Y connection. Okay, so here we go. We've got two different types of stuffing. A traditional bread stuffing, and then Italian style stuffing with sausage and the chopped up turkey liver. Green bean casserole, sweet potatoes, yams, running in the second smoker off of the battery pack. And then here, and we've got our turkey, which is almost done. It's been running for 4 hours and 4 minutes. And that's what it looks like. Almost done. Okay, we are completely done. 4 hours and 50 minutes. Look at that. Awesome. Completely powered by the Oupes MEGA1 power station from start to finish. No house power whatsoever. So as the smoker is going into a cool down period, the only thing that's left running is the blower fan, and it runs for about 10 minutes till the smoker is actually completely cooled off. Then it shuts off. It shuts off on its own. The 4.5 hours of running on that power pack, plus the second grill smoker also running on that power pack for the last 48 minutes. And it's doing the stuffing, the bean casserole, and the yams. Quite impressive. Okay, here we are. It's Thanksgiving 2024. The turkey and all of the fixins, the bean casserole, the stuffing, the yams are still out there. They're finished. Everything was done on both 11002B smokers, running off of the Oupes MEGA1 power station. No house power whatsoever. So now we're going to get into getting into this bird. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that skin is crispy. Here, let's try this one. Can you hear it? Crispy skin. All right. Now let's get into this bad boy. This was injected with a butter type marinade or injection. And I can tell you right now that as I'm cutting into this, there is juices coming out galore. That is completely dripping with juice. Completely dripping with juice. Let's get the leg off of here. Completely tender. There is so much moisture in this, it's unreal. It is just saturated with juices. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.